Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Rachael Lee. I'm a local realtor here in Jacksonville, Florida. And today we're going to be covering the 8 things that you need to know before you move to Jacksonville, Florida. So the first thing that you need to know before moving to Jacksonville is going to be the size of Jacksonville. Now, Jacksonville is the largest city in the continental United States, so getting around is going to take you some time. We like to joke that pretty much anywhere you are in Jacksonville, you could be 30 minutes or so from whatever your next destination is. The city is divided into multiple different neighborhoods and kind of sections of town that all have very different and unique styles and flair and good things about them, but it will take time to kind of get to know the areas and see which area is going to work best for you and your family. You have the historic districts, Avondale, Riverside, Springfield, Murray Hill area. You also have some laid-back suburb options, Mandarin, Fleming Island. Then you also have the beachside feel, Atlantic Beach, Neptune Beach, Jacksonville Beach, and kind of everything in between. So whatever it is that you're looking for your family, I can pretty much guarantee that we have it here in Jacksonville. It's just a matter of getting around, having a good guide, someone that knows the area that can kind of help direct you to the different neighborhoods and see what's best about each of them and what works for you. So with that being said, that's going to lead us directly into our number 2, which is going to be traffic and transportation. So in Jacksonville, because it is so large, it lacks the extensive public transportation system that some other cities of its size have. So you will need to rely on a car to get around Jacksonville for the most part. This also causes rush hour traffic to be very bad since most everyone in Jacksonville is driving. So at high traffic times of day in the morning and afternoon, you're definitely going to need to add on some extra time for traffic, and you're going to be sitting in the traffic, especially if you're going over any of the bridges during those high traffic times of day. You're definitely going to be sitting for a bit, and you'll want to factor that into your commute. Also, if you are someone who hates traffic, this is something to note. There are definitely ways to get around the traffic, ways to stay in your neighborhood and kind of avoid it during those high traffic times. But for the most part, this is definitely something to consider and something you should know before you move to Jacksonville. The third thing for you to make sure that you know before you move to Jacksonville is going to be our weather. So it does get very hot and humid here. Now I know it's Florida, so you're thinking, of course it's hot. But a lot of people seem to think that because we are so far northeast in Florida that it doesn't get as hot as some of the other places. We definitely have hot times of year, but we still get the 3 seasons. We get to enjoy the cool and the chill in the fall and things like that. But you want to make sure that you are prepared for the extreme heat warnings that we do get in the summertime, as well as just the extreme hot that we endure throughout the summer. Now, some people love the heat. It's definitely a personal preference. I personally would rather be in the heat than the snow, but this is something you'll want to consider. We do get very mild winters, which is nice, but that hot heat comes with it. So our fourth thing to consider is going to be hurricane season. Now, Jacksonville is not anywhere near as hurricane prone as some of the other areas in South Florida are, but we still do need to be prepared here in Jacksonville. Hurricanes have hit in Jacksonville in the very far past, and we definitely have them come through close enough to cause some effects here and there. So we like to stay prepared. It's something to take into consideration. Have your evacuation plan ready, a safety kit, things like that. Now, certainly my clients moving from South Florida are coming to get away from the hurricanes. They love the security that Jacksonville gives them as far as being further out from the hurricanes, not as affected usually. And my clients coming from Northeast, Northwest, really anywhere that doesn't deal with hurricanes, they tend to be a little bit more cautious of hurricanes and flood zones and things like that. But definitely trust your realtor on this one. They will be able to help guide and direct you and make sure that you're checking evacuation zones and flood zones and stuff like that. So our number 5 thing that you should know is about the Jacksonville outdoor lifestyle and the beach lifestyle. So I feel like Jacksonville isn't as much of a tourist destination for the beaches specifically, but they're kind of a hidden gem. We have a lot of different unique state parks and hidden beaches, and Jacksonville Beach is not the only beach that we have. It is our kind of main one if you're following the highway out to the beach, but we also have Neptune Beach and Atlantic Beach. If you go south into Ponte Vedra Beach and Mickler's with the shark teeth, it's a really cool option. Even up to Amelia Island, the very quiet beaches that they have up there. You have a ton of options for beaches in this area, and they're not as packed like sardines as some other areas in Florida already are. Now, while we're on the topic of outdoor living in Jacksonville, it's not just the beaches that offer outdoor living here in our area. Jacksonville is home to the largest urban park system in the US, with over 80,000 acres of parks, preserves, and wetlands to get out and hike and explore. Number 7, this is a good one. things everyone should know before they move to any city is the cost of living in Jacksonville. This one I actually have a whole separate video on that you can check out as far as cost of living that gives you more examples exactly. But cost of living here in Jacksonville is relatively inexpensive compared to other areas, other cities of our size, other areas in Florida in general. Now, of course, this is going to vary from neighborhood to neighborhood. If you're out at the beaches, it might be a little bit higher. If you're in some desirable historic districts, things can change and vary from place to place, especially because Jacksonville is so large. But for the most part, on the affordability scale, we do pretty well. Number 8 is going to be the cultural and entertainment scene here in Jacksonville. Jacksonville is home to a growing arts and entertainment scene. Downtown Jacksonville has museums, theaters, concert venues, sports arenas. There's always something to do in Jacksonville, from attending a street fair to a local art gallery opening or a new restaurant that's come through. Jacksonville has also become quite the scene for craft beer enthusiasts, with a growing number of local breweries popping up all over the city, from Intuition Ale Works, from Ruby Brewing, Bold City, and Fishweir. If you're a fan of local brews, there is plenty for you to explore and enjoy here in Jacksonville. So that brings us to 8 things you should know. A few other things just to note: we are a golf lover's paradise. There's so many different golfing spots and golf courses and things for you to check out if you're into golfing. We also have a very strong and diverse economy for jobs and job market. There's a lot of different types of jobs and companies here in Jacksonville that are hiring, whether it's logistics or healthcare, technology, really anything. It's a great job market here in Jacksonville. We are also a huge Navy hub. We have 2 Navy bases here in Jacksonville as well as Kingsland Bay. So that is always creating new jobs and bringing people into our area and creating growth. Now, of course, this is just a quick overview of some things that I believe you should know before you move to Jacksonville, Florida. I hope this was helpful. Feel free to check out some of our other videos on Jacksonville as well, just to give you an even better, more well-rounded picture of Jacksonville and if it will work for you and your family. If you have any questions or if this video has sparked some interest about Jacksonville, feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to answer any questions that you have and help you make this as stress-free of a process as possible. Our contact information will be here on the screen as well as down below in the description, and we will see you in the next video.